What about your friends? Welcome back to the Queen's Table. If you tuned into part 1, then you already know this conversation is necessary, layered, and far from over. In part 2, we're going deeper because support doesn't end after the first check-in. This is where things get real, when the crisis stretches out, when you're emotionally taped, and when you don't know what to say anymore. We're talking about what it means to love someone through their healing without losing yourself in the process. We're unpacking guilt, boundaries, and how to keep showing up without burning out. So if you've ever whispered, I want to help, but I don't know how, this one is for you.
Hey, Queens.
All right, so we still got Nefertiti here and Chrissy here, and we're loving the vibes.
Yes, we are. Okay, so this is what I want to start this because I was thinking about, now y'all gotta listen to part 1 now to know where
Yes,
I'm
go to
coming
part
from.
1.
So, okay, so the only is Chrissy and Neff was definitely a part of just my whole healing journey. The only part I remember that I could not really, that y'all didn't know when I went into the hospital. I didn't share anything about that part. Now, I called the union and told them what was on my mind. Next thing you know, they were sending the crisis unit to my house.
Yes.
Can't be honest with everybody.
The union was a source.
Listen, I called them and told them a few things, and next thing you know, these people was at my house in the crisis unit, and I remember I had, I was in the mental health hospital for 7 days.
Lord.
And that's the only part that I think it was some shame involved with that too. I think it was some like rock bottom, like, this is it.
The worst of the worst.
It was the worst. That's what I feel like. And this is a whole nother community I got to work on, because that whole experience, we're going to talk about that later on down the line. But this, on my birthday, I got out of the hospital. It was in November. It was on election day, is the day when I got out of the mental health hospital. And I was like, please let me out this hospital because I have to go vote. Because if this President Trump get in here, I will be back in here. And I remember when I said that, the nurse was like, now listen, Michelle, please don't think like that. If he, I think she knew something I didn't know. And so, but prior to this stay in the hospital, a couple of weeks, again, I was really at rock bottom still. It was my birthday, and it did not feel that like birthday. And my birthday is October 4th. And, I'm sick, and I'm just, trying to get it together, trying to believe God for a miracle. And I just felt like I felt stuck. And I remember I was talking to Chrissy and Neff on the phone, and, next thing you know, I'm hearing like a knock, but they sounded like the knock is on their end, and I'm just confused.
I know she was medicated.
Yes. So I'm just confused. And here it was on my birthday. They did a surprise visit. And they came to see me. But I'm going to read this card, because this is the card they gave me. And when I tell y'all, this card really defined where I was going in my life. And it says, our community is where all the boldness and the blackness goes down, where moves are made and voices are heard, because in this place we matter. In this place we are safe, we are loved, and we are blessed. Because we have one another. And it's signed by Chrissy and Noah.
That is beautiful.
And this card...
Is that mahogany?
Yes.
I know mahogany when I hear mahogany. That is
Lord,
beautiful.
that's a commercial. Y'all better get us. We might have to send them this video. So this card, actually, I read it often. It's just somewhere where I can always see it. And it's our community.
Yes. And look, it's so funny because when we went to the market, because that was one of the big things
like when you were going through your crisis, you always used the word community.
Yeah.
Community.
And if something went
was
wrong,
wrong,
I
it's
said devastation in the community.
So when we went to Acme and saw the card, we was like, oh, this is perfect. This is Diva community. We have to get it for her. Yes.
And that's something.
Let me stop right here because they y'all keep calling her Diva. I'm gonna tell
Oh
the
yeah, I
audience.
thought about that earlier.
They call her Diva.
Yeah,
because she's
At
a
the
diva.
gym.
Let me
She's
tell
a
y'all
diva.
something. See, that's a
Because she
whole
be switching around and carrying on.
That's a
Hands
whole.
out to the
These
side.
queens. Let me tell you something. That's a whole nother. Listen, that whole thing is.
But yeah.
But this is who we are.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? This is who we are. This space, the Queen's Table, we created this. You know what I'm saying? And so this card means so much to me. And one of the things I do know is that we share so many of the same core values. And when you really do understand who you are,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying, what you bring to the table in any relationship, I believe you do tend to be drawn to queens with those same qualities.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have created without even planning or this happened so organically. It wasn't like it was something we worked on or anything. So again, when we talk about queens, supporting queens through mental health challenges, not just mental health, I mean, a medical issue.
Yes.
Work, right?
You know,
like,
listen,
work is
going
a
through
big
some
ass.
work
Listen,
stuff.
what's going on in this country right now? Y'all, didn't I have to call you the other night? Like literally, I heard, I watched the news and I said, Lord, have mercy on us all. Like we have, like, so when we think about friends supporting one another, you know, and offering them, what does that look like even when it's not mental health? Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's what we was dealing with what's going on in this country. You know what I'm saying?
So I think it's using discernment, right? Like I've been thinking in the previous episode, we talked about things that went down and some of the things you even forgot. And I remember getting text messages from you and having to use discernment about how I was going to take this text message and whether I was going to push it forward and say, okay, this is something I need to act on, or understanding in the communication we've been having that this is one of her days that she needs to get some things off. And tomorrow we'll get a different text message.
Right.
Like Chrissy and I laughed about like, we broke up with my girlfriend at the gym, you know, like it was things going on. And I had to say to Chrissy one day, we're not going to act on any more cases for her because she'll change her mind the next day. And then we all caught up, you know, as the lioness, right? Like protecting our cub. And then she back to it. And I'm like, well, I'm upset. And she not upset no more. So it was like using discernment, though, truthfully, about how to peel that apart and where that was and saying, okay, this is a day. This text message means I'm calling her. This text message means she's just like ranting and getting it out. And I don't use rant in a negative way, but like she's getting it off her chest. And so I'm going to let this one, because I remember getting one and my girlfriend had told me about where she wanted to do this at and where she wanted to go and who she wanted. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to, how do I figure this out? But then it was like, again, connecting with Shelby. Your mom texted me today, like, how is she? What is she doing? She sent me this message, right? So Shelby, I'm just checking in with you.
And I'm like, she's sitting on the balcony.
Yes,
yes, because Shelby did play. She was playing the mom role. Like,
Thank you, Queen.
Yes, because look, that one time when we was on the phone and Shell got the cursing, Shelby said, "Mom, if you keep it up, I'm going to get off this phone with you." And Shell switched it up. She definitely stopped the cursing.
But she stopped the cursing. But you know what, too? I think it's important for us to say that we're laughing. But that is so, and that's a part of the healing. Because I think we started laughing maybe like, what, 4 or 5 months. Like some of the things, it would be funny at the time, but you couldn't. But now, like in helping and hearing Dee say, I don't remember. And I'm sitting there like, you don't remember. And then we laugh. But that has been a part of our healing process with you. It's like really being able to talk about it and you not feel shame. Because every time we talk, I think more things come out, right? And like even what we just talked about previously about the hospital and you being like, I didn't know that, but we talked about, right. Yeah.
I remember that was a lonely, that was such a lonely time. It was such a lonely space and it's so many rules and regulations. The experience is like prison. You know what I'm saying? It really is. And it's just like, I don't even understand how they expect people to get healed in an atmosphere.
But
like
I think
that.
too, Shell, I remember talking to you and I think I might have said it. I said you didn't want to go to the hospital, but that might have been, well, we all know that that's where God wanted you at that time because even with you going to the hospital, the first thing you was like, okay, I gotta know what I gotta do to help these people. It was like you're always in like a space where you want to help people.
Supporting.
And that's crazy. It's just still hard for me to believe sometimes. That's the trigger sometimes about this is it makes you think back to things when you talk about it. Like,
because you told me where you wanted to go. And I'm like, well, how can I get her? She was like, this is the hospital I need to go
and
to.
I remember, that's what it was. I wanted to go to, because I worked in a mental health hospital, okay? And I wanted to go where I worked at, but that wasn't a wise thing, me going up in there and I worked there.
They were like, oh, you at work?
That was a part-time job. And I was like, if I go in there, they probably be like, what in the world? So, then I end up going into this God, that was the worst experience ever, but it was just like, that's the part I got to that I just could not be open to y'all about. I ain't want y'all phone numbers or nothing. But that also was the worst I saw Shelby. Through that whole process, she was being strong until I got to the mental health hospital. That's sort of like, what was it about that you just, that's when it was just,
I don't know. It was just like I think it was the rock bottom type of situation. Like, oh my God, this thing. Because I mean, when you're home, either when you was at my house or home, it was like, okay, I got eyes on her. I can whatever. But then going to somewhere, you didn't have your phone. It wasn't a thing where I could call.
You can't have your phone in there.
Call and check in on you or whatever. Then I kept missing your phone calls. Like,
and then that
she
would
would call me.
And then
and it was just like,
she didn't answer.
So
because they only give you certain times to call.
Right. So that was weird. That was just I think that was the worst of it, I think.
So with our gym, and I don't want to get too much into this because I'm trying to save this for when Shani and Tracy come to the table. But this was, I'm a next level personal training, that gym was the first safe community I ever experienced. The first. I've been a part of a lot of different communities. That's the first one I felt safe in. And I remember, now I understand, I didn't think when I came out of that, I did not think I would be able to go back to that community and be a part of that community because I believed I had gotten so bad I wouldn't be able to show up. As what I was before that situation. Like I was always, we was always coming in and smiling and loud and laughing and get it, Queens. And, just that whole thing. And because I know what I bring to the table. That's what I brought. And I didn't have a get it, Queen.
I knew you were going to say that because I remember you making that declaration.
And I remember when even going, when I first tried to go back, the first time I would feel those panic attack feelings when I walked in the door, even though I had all this love, that my body didn't sense it as love. It was fear, And then I was just like, I gotta, I was going to look at other gyms and stuff, thinking, well, I gotta keep up with my fitness. Maybe I'm just gonna go somewhere where I could be quiet and not say anything. But it just like the community was drawing me back.
And I think you also found that that's not who you were, right? As you came back to your 0, right? Like 0 to 10. She got back to her. That's not who you, that quiet was not you, right? No. That showing up and not really showing up was not you. So you had to get back to the space. And I think for Chrissy and I, it was still, you didn't know, but like still being a spokesperson when you didn't like telling people she didn't feel up to it today. Yeah, she'll be back. Like she'll be here. Like, you know, kind of keeping people at bay.
Yes.
So they didn't feel like they needed, and because at one point I was like, don't text her. You know, like she doesn't need that part. Like, let me just say she's doing okay and I'll let her know you asked about her. You know?
Well, y'all, they always let me know y'all was asking about it. They did.
And I think too, Shell, I think with the whole next level community, I feel like it was like a full circle moment, because that's where we all met. And even with you going to different gyms, not really finding your niche. Me and you went to a gym together.
Chrissy supported her through that.
I supported her. We went to different gyms, and then it was like when you came back, like you said, you didn't have the Get It Queen in you, but eventually you got back to your spot in the bag. Get It Queen.
Yes. I got a spot in the gym. So now lately, you know, we have grown at next level. So I got to get to the gym a little early to get in my spot, because you know you don't want to get nobody attitude. Because it's like
she called me this last week or something about somebody was in my spot.
It'll throw off her.
Yeah, she was like, I'm discombobulated.
I was discombobulated.
She said, I'm not all the way there because, you know, I usually be in the back. And
I was hoping the queen would be like, queen, come on, we can switch. She ain't say that. That was my clue. Like, since you're in my spot, let's switch. You know, because I'm discombobulated. And honey, that queen kept on working out like, that's on your queen. So it's just like, so now I'm back, you know, in this space.
Yes.
You know, that I love. And let me just say this. When we talk about friends, supporting friends going through challenges, let me tell you something. Who else was the bomb? Jim and
downstairs.
Your neighbor.
Susan.
Yes.
Jim and Susan.
Yes.
And y'all know I love y'all. And I tell y'all, once I told, because they knew something was wrong because of my physical appearance. They didn't know what was going on. But finally, when I just told them everything, they just got, and I love about
they
Susan,
got madder than you.
They got more upset than I was with the city of Philadelphia. They was going there. They wanted to make phone calls. They wanted to do everything. But I had, so that was, you know,
that goes back to what you were saying about like culture and all of that. Now, Jim and Susan is a white couple. And again, we might be brainwashed or whatever into thinking we can't be ourselves around these people that are not like me. And then that was again just shown like, no, there are still people that are safe, that genuinely love you, that you can be your authentic self.
In her community.
It's still in her community that it's like you can. Because they were there when they came to get you.
When the crisis unit came, Susan and Jim was there taking notes. Okay,
they was calling me. Where is she going?
They was packing my bag. They was in the bedroom getting stuff out of my drawer.
See, we didn't know that. I didn't know that.
And all that. And it was just like, and then checking on Shelby, making sure she was okay. And like, you know, it's just hard to believe that I'm still working for the city of Philadelphia after all that. And I'm more passionate than ever to just continue my service as a social worker. Because I feel like...
I'm sorry, because I think it's not about the city of Philadelphia.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like they ain't treat me right.
They did not, but the calling is bigger than just, and it's unfortunate that you have to experience it with them, but you know, you probably would not have experienced what you've experienced if you weren't there, so that you can help other people.
And then I just saw her the other day. She called me, she texted me and was like, hey, I just wanted to know, do you have any properties available? Because a couple, I know it was a man and his daughter, they needed something. I said, now there you go. Look at you still servicing the community. Yes.
It's so important. And because I do. And this is, and my passion is to community people, because once we go down, real community leaders, you know, once we go down, what happens with the community?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why this is so real to me, because honestly, I know what kind of social worker I am. So you know what I'm saying? We want to be the best. Wow. So let's go back to tips. What are some more tips and ways we can support queens? Now, y'all, I was saying people with kids. I don't know. In the last episode, I said I don't know what queens with children, because I couldn't even see having like young kids going through what I went through mentally. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about queens that are helping a queen with young children, what are some tips and things that we can offer them?
I mean, I think you have to identify your resources that are around you, whether it's human, whether it's like tangible resources. Like, I know I leaned in on my sister who's a therapist. That was a conversation. Sometimes after talking to you, I would reach out to my sister, like, and not, with giving all of the bits away, but like, how do I show up? And she talked to me about helping make sure you ground yourself, right? Like asking questions about when you were going kind of backtrack and remember you were having those conversations where you were going in your memory, right? And so having conversations about what do you see now and you're like right now in your presence, you're in your bed, can you feel like, so using resources that you don't identify right off, but knowing like, okay, what do I need to surround myself with so I can still show up, right? Like that, I think that's a tip. Like
That's good.
finding those other ways to support yourself. While you're supporting that person.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And even practical things like, offering to get their clothes washed, offering to have somebody go clean their home or clean in their home. You know what I'm saying?
And staying connected to the people that's close to them. If you can.
Stay connected. Sending them flowers. And my girls, honey, these queens gonna give you some flowers.
Yes.
It's something about getting flowers sent to your home or just bringing them flowers.
Yeah.
Going to the supermarket with them, calling them up saying, hey, just send me your grocery list. I'll make sure you get groceries, to the house. You know what I'm saying? Those practical things are things we can do to help as well. I'm making phone calls, scheduling appointments. The anxiety for me would be so great that I had tremors. So all the time I would just be shaking, like all the time. So texting, maybe something that should take you a half a minute to text, it would take me 30 or 40 minutes to text, just because of my hands. So it's just those things. Seeing if they, they may need, oh God, people want to be sending emails and, like all of those things just sitting there, like helping people navigate. Now when you schedule appointments, you got to set up portals. So if you're having panic attacks, if you have the tremors, having to set up a portal, what they put you through, y'all, I'm so disgusted of the process to even get help with these portals that you have to set up. I don't even know how people are doing. You need somebody to help you do that kind of stuff. So even sitting with a person saying, hey, they want you to set up a portal, I can do that for you. You just tell me the information. That's a good one because I'm telling you, you're not getting any kind of medical help without going and answering on your phone or computer probably about 75 questions. So that's something you can help your good girlfriend through. If they take the kids for the weekend, yes. You know what I'm saying? See, take them for a few hours sometimes can help a queen. You know what I'm saying? Taking the kids for a walk.
Go for a
Yes, offer to take them to the hairdresser, get their nails done, things like that. These are practical things we can do too to help and support somebody that is going through a challenge. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to say, Chrissy and Neff, while y'all are here, and in front of just everybody, I appreciate y'all as my mom's friend. Like, just keeping her busy, taking her out. Because when you have it's only us two, and then I live in Maryland, and she's here in Philly, and it's just like I'm not driving to Philly. I'm just not. But just knowing that she has some support still out there that she can reach out to. Y'all reach out to her and make sure she's going out. That's like super important for me. So I just appreciate y'all. Absolutely. And I definitely love y'all for doing that for her.
Love you too, Shelby.
And I want to say how proud I am of y'all with this podcast.
Yes.
We love the podcast. And like I was telling Joe, I remember when Shell first came here. And she was doing a podcast with somebody else. And she was like, oh, I can do a podcast. I'm going to do a podcast. And we kind of like, oh, okay, Shell's going to do a podcast.
One of our walks. Remember one of our track walks.
Yes. I'm going to do a podcast, y'all. And I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And sure enough, y'all are doing an awesome job doing this podcast. Yes. We love the Queen's Table.
Thank y'all so
much. Here's what we know. Showing up for someone in a mental health crisis isn't always pretty, perfect, or even peaceful, but it's powerful. Your presence, your patience, and your prayers, they matter more than you think. As we wrap up part 2, we want to remind you to also check in with yourself. Helping someone heal doesn't mean forgetting your own. Support and self-care are not enemies, they're sisters. Thank you to Chris and Neff for being here today, and thank you for pulling up to the Queen's Table. You're not just witnessing healing, you're a part of it. And around here, we never let queens heal alone.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, no offense, I'm finding out jealousy, only a lack of confidence. Focused on me more, focused on you less. Everybody do that, look around and we blessed. Today, smile on my face, may not go my way. Still got my face, so I'll be okay.